Inject it. Inject it right now. I kid you not. I can't do this. I can't. I can't. This is so stupid, but it might honestly be a 5-star read. She hasn't even been here a full month and she's low-key been wreaking havoc. Why is the main character's name Tronbo? Hold on, where's my Kindle? I'm looking for my Kindle. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you are new, if you're not new, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marina and today we're starting another reading vlog, people. You know, I've been focusing a lot on my physical TBR, and as much as I'm willing to make progress in that, as you guys know, I'm really yearning for my Kindle. I say that as if I'm not on it like almost every single day, but I'm yearning to just like do a reading vlog with it, you know? Just so you guys can see what I read on my Kindle, how much I read on my Kindle. This is gonna be exclusively a weekly reading vlog, but with a Kindle. It's like the Kindle edition. Am I making sense? I don't know. I just got off of work and I'm low-key brain dead. This baby, it's gonna be seen throughout the entirety of the video. I think any book girly should always have some form of a book in her bag, whether that's a physical book or her e-reader, and I literally never leave the house without mine. So I'm not joking when I say I'm always, like, at least every other day on this thing reading. I was actually on it today at work reading. I would love to see how much I can read. I'm not gonna lie guys, I have, like I said, been reading on this all day. I finished a book this morning before I went to work. You guys might be able to guess if you've seen my previous reading vlog. I finished the second book in the Devil's Backbone trilogy by Tate James, and this has been my latest guilty pleasure read. I'm not gonna go that far into it. I did talk about this at length in my previous reading vlog, but for those of you guys that are new here, this has been my latest hyperfixation read. I acknowledge that it's not even that good, but it's keeping me entertained. So finished that book this morning, and I started the last book in the series while I was at work today. I did not get that far into it. I'm only like, I'm not even 10% into it. I'm only 7%, and I'm on, I want to say, the 3rd or 4th chapter. Okay, but some of you guys might also know I'm also reading This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews. Last time I talked to you guys, I was on part 2 of the book, and I still am. It's only been like 2 days since I finished that video, and I haven't really been focusing on reading that one, but because that is a library book, I need to actually prioritize that more than the others, so I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. This is another mood reading vlog, but we're just going to do Kindle books, and then if I can get to a book on my physical TBR that is saved in my Kindle, that would be nice, but we're not going to stress too much. Yeah, welcome to the video. I hope that you guys enjoy. Okay, I have something to say. 16% into this book, so I haven't made that much of a dent since I last talked to you guys, but as much as I am enjoying this series, like, it really does give me like classic CW show from like early to mid 2010s. Like, it's that kind of bad but good entertainment. I can't help but like literally cringe whenever one of the love interests gives the main character a nickname. Like, they all have different nicknames for her. For those of you guys that don't know, this is like a reverse harem trope book. So there are like 4 different love interests in this book for the main character, and they all have different nicknames for her, and I hate almost every single one of them. This last book, we just unlocked a new terrible nickname. I can't do this. I can't. I can't. For those of you guys that want to know the list of nicknames, we have Ashes, which I think is the most tame one because her name is Ashley, the main character. So Ashes, not the worst nickname in the world. Then you have Spark, which is not the worst one out of the 4, but it feels like you're referring to her as a dog. I don't know. Like, when I think of the name Spark, I think of like Sparky, like a dog. So I don't like that name either. And then we have, this is the one that I think is the worst by far, but whatever. Squirrel. One of the guys calls her Squirrel, and oh my god. And if you want to know why, I'm not gonna go into it, but like, he's been calling her Squirrel since like the first book, and every time he does, I lose a part of myself. I really do. And I feel so conflicted because he's one of my favorite of like her love interests, but why the fuck are you calling her Squirrel? Anyway, and then the last nickname, pet name that was unlocked in this final book is Duckling. And I might have overlooked the reasoning why they call her Duckling, but it's still not good. Like, out of all the nicknames, I'm just like, what happened to Babe or Honey? Or like why are we every single time she gets a new love interest, they give her a stupid ass nickname? And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Let me finish this chapter and then I'm gonna go eat something. Guys, hi. I feel like it's been a long time since I talked to you, but it's literally just the next day. But it's like 8 o'clock at night. I just got back from work. I meant to update you guys this morning, but my morning was very hectic. So I did not give any updates after where I left you off yesterday. I think like sometime in the afternoon. The reason why I was in a rush this morning and wasn't able to update you was because I had to go to the hairstylist to get a touch up on my hair, and that ended up taking a lot longer than I thought. So like while I was in the chair, I was reading Up a Storm, and then I read some at work today. I'm now 31% into the third book in this series, which is so fun. But on top of that, I ended up reading or continuing to read This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. Made a pretty fair dent in that book as well, I must say. And now I can officially have time to just sit and read now that I'm at home, and I think I deserve it. I've had the longest day. I feel like my head is hurting. Again, I was in that chair for a lot longer than I thought I was going to be, and my scalp is screaming at me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to lay down, I'm going to read, I'm gonna eat food because I also haven't eaten much at all today. I'll try to update you guys later. It is 8 o'clock and I'm a little tired, so if I don't, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I will say, since I'm mostly been reading This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, I do have some updates because I'm really enjoying this book. I know I was raving about it in my previous reading vlog, so I don't want to give too much away in case you guys are looking to read it. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'm on chapter 14 and I feel like the pacing of this book is finally starting to get somewhere where I feel more comfortable in the story. Not to say that I wasn't enjoying it before, but I was trying to figure out what exactly this book wanted to be. I didn't know if it was going to be like more of a satire on like epic fantasy and like living your YN moment in a fantasy, like a self-insert type of thing, or if it was actually trying to be like a serious fantasy book. And I think I understand its structure. It's like a mixture of both, but I do think like when it comes to like the actual world building of this world that the main character loves and is stuck in, there are layers to this, there's nuance to the characters, and I'm really enjoying like the side characters. I think that this book does a good job of focusing on characters in this fantasy world that are not the main characters of the books that main character in this book loves. This is confusing if you don't know what this book is about. We're following this character named Maggie who just ends up waking up in her favorite fantasy series and she doesn't know how to get out. So she's gonna use this to the best of her abilities and just like befriend different people to try to make the most out of this, but also to try to take down the villain in this series, because this series is incomplete. The author never put out the final book and it's been like 20 years. So she's like, while I'm here, I'm gonna make sure my characters get the ending they deserve and I'm gonna take this villain down. So in order to do that, she needs to basically like get to know people, the people that she doesn't know, okay? Because she knows every single character in this book. She is a mega diehard fan of the book series. She knows everyone, but in order to complete this task, she basically has to befriend NPCs, basically people that are like on the outskirts of the story that don't get their full attention in the books, you know? And it's so interesting. It's very fun, it's very cool. I'm liking it a lot. I think that I will continue reading this tonight. I do want to pick up the pace on this one because I'm only 30% into it, and I've had it for like a little over a week now, maybe 2 weeks, and this is a library book, so I really can't play when it comes to this. I need to actually pick up my pace and make a better dent in it, but I read like 10% of it today, so it's not terrible, okay? Like I'm doing pretty good, all things considered. That's where I will leave you for the night. Like I said, I'll try to update you before I go to bed, but just in case I don't, I will see you guys tomorrow. Hold on, where's my Kindle? I'm looking for my Kindle. Okay guys, it is Wednesday. It is the next day. Nothing has changed. I'm still in the middle of Your Next and This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. I will say the buzz that I'm getting from Maggie and Reynolds, inject it right now. I kid you not. I was like smiling and giggling and kicking my feet at work. This is sick. This is really sick. I have been thinking about them all day to the point where like I was gonna continue reading, and then I reminded myself, wait, you need to update the reading blog. So hi, hello. Everything about whatever is going on between those two, sending me. Also, again, I love the fact that Maggie is befriending like side characters that she barely knows about in the books because she doesn't really know their fate of what's to come. So she's kind of like going all willy-nilly with the way that she gives information to them. Like she chooses what she tells them very wisely, as opposed to like spoon feeding them their future in a way that could easily mess up the rest of the trajectory of the books. And Reynolds, his story is like he's just a knight who's all about like honor and duty, but he seems really fun to me. I don't know. And even she's confused. She's like, he's not what I pictured in the books. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I like that that's like kind of a pattern in this book where it kind of does, again, this very meta thing of like, you know how when you read a book, you're imagining a character to look a certain way or be a certain type of way based off of how the author has written it. Imagine if you're in Maggie's place and you have fallen into this world and you're actually interacting with these characters and they're not how you imagine they would look based off of the description of them, and they're not how you would expect them to act on a day-to-day based off of the scenes that you get with them in the book. It's so interesting. I love what this author is like doing with this sort of concept, because it could have easily just been like cheesy and a little bit cringe. No, it's like not. Like, yes, the concept of being like a self-insert into your favorite fantasy novel is a little bit cheesy, but this book is so far really, really good. And again, the world building in here is amazing. Like, I will say it's a little hard to follow at times, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there are a lot of family trees, rich families in power that I need to keep in the back of my mind, because when they're brought up again, like 50 pages later, I'm like, whoa, okay, hold your roll. I'm gonna need a cliff notes, but I'm overall having a really good time with this. And Reynolds, the knight, I don't know his last name, I don't need to know his title. Need that really, really bad. Ooh. As for Your Next, guys, I don't know what it is about this book. I'm getting through it slower than I would like. I mean, granted, I'm like 40% in, so like not terrible, but I don't know, something about this last book, it's not really calling to me, especially because since I know it's the last book, I expected the pace to pick up a little bit more in terms of like plot. What plot? You know, because from the way I described this book, you guys already know what the vibe is. Like, this is a very unserious series, and I knew that going in, but I was expecting the last book to have a little bit of a oomph, you know. I'm almost halfway into the book and little to nothing has happened in terms of like plot and the mystery of what the hell is going on in this secret society, who was up to this and why are they doing this. Like, they bring it back in every once in a while, but then like it's literally background. The main character could be fighting for her life one second, and then the next second she'd be like, oh wait, no, I gotta go back to my harem. I gotta wonder what my harem's doing. And I get it, that's like, that is somewhat of the plot, but it's not. Like, I get it. I don't know. This is my first, I think, dark romance, and I wish that there was more of a balance between the romance and the actual plot itself, because I think that the plot of this book could be interesting if it were actually written well, and it's not. But again, this is just my little goofy, silly, fun time. The fact that I'm about to finish a full trilogy in the span of a month is insane. Like, that's how badly I'm addicted to these books. So the author is doing her job, to be fair. Like, maybe they're not supposed to be serious, maybe they're not supposed to be like the most well-written books of all time, they're just there for entertainment, and I am appreciating the entertainment given to me on a silver platter. I just wish that the third book actually did a lot more. I'm on chapter 18, if you can see on my phone. Yeah, I have nothing to really add though, because there's been no progression really in the plot or what's going on. I will say I think that the main character of this book is a little annoying, and I've known that since like the first book. Like, she has like typical YN tendencies where I'm like, why are you doing that? You're really annoying me because you're being dumb. But I feel like it's gotten worse as the books have gone on, and I don't know what that is about. Like, I was not that annoyed with her in the first book, and now in this third book she's making decisions and I'm just like, girl, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Don't piss me off, please. I'm going to try to continue to read for the rest of the day. It's still pretty early. I mean, it's not early, it's like 7 o'clock, but it's early enough where I'm not feeling sleepy, so I can continue to read. I have the day off tomorrow, so we're going to get stuff done, like reading. I also, guys, I wanted to show you guys the flowers that my dad got, because I think by the time this is posted, you guys would have already known. My dog, we sadly did have to put her down. It's about to be a week as of tomorrow. And my dad got me these beautiful flowers because he saw that I was feeling really sad, and I just thought I should show them to you guys because they look really pretty right now. Look at them, they're so pretty. Usually flowers don't last long in my room. I don't know why. My parents say it's because apparently I don't keep my window open long enough to let the flowers live. But I don't think that's the case, because my window is open. It's just the fact that I just don't have luck with flowers. Like, I respect people that keep plants, like real plants in their room, because when I get my own apartment, I will definitely be like a fake plants person. I can't take care of no plants. Like, plants aren't the biggest fan of me. So far, these have lasted a lot longer than I thought. Like, they have been standing, they're still in bloom, they're still really beautiful, and they're still going strong after like I think 3 or 4 days. So we'll just have to see. I thought that was really pretty. Also, my earbuds finally came, because if you watch my previous vlog, you will also know I had to order new ones, and they're finally in, so I can continue listening to Yesteryear. Who else cheered? I know I did. I haven't picked up the physical book in like the last couple of days, so that's also because I have been reading on my Kindle. So in case anyone wanted an update with that, that's what's happening. I'm gonna go read now. But I will talk to you guys most likely tomorrow. I don't think there's gonna be any more updates tonight, because I just really want to lay down and continue reading. So good morning, everyone. It is the next day and it is the afternoon. I meant to read this morning. I did, but I ended up having a lot to do. It's still really early in the day. It's only like 2:30-ish. I just got back home after a whole lot of running around, okay? Let me explain to you how my day has been so far. Woke up this morning, I read a little bit on my Kindle, which was the goal. I usually get a good chunk of reading in before I actually start my day. I never film it, but like, best believe, I'm not leaving my bed until I've gotten through at least 1 or 2 chapters of a current read, okay? So that was great. Did the dishes, something I usually do every morning. I took a walk outside. It's a beautiful day outside, and I'm gonna appreciate it while it lasts, because in Michigan, you never know. Like, guys, it was literally snowing last week. It's April, about to be May. So if it's a good day outside, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna see the world for what it's worth. And then I got back home and I wanted to edit this week's video, because I usually do some of my editing on Thursdays. It is now 2 o'clock. I did not know this, but my dad needed me to take him to go get his car back from the dealership. It was a whole thing. I had to drive all the way to 8 Mile. I'm not near 8 Mile. So I had to like do a whole circus drive, and I was like, you know what, while I'm out, why don't I go to Book Off? If you guys remember, I did a reading vlog, not a reading vlog, no, that's not what it was, a bookstore vlog with my friend DJ, where we went to a bookstore near me called Book Off, and I didn't really get anything from there because I was just really overwhelmed. It was so crowded that I was just browsing for the most part, but then I quickly ended up leaving. So I decided, you know what, it's a Thursday, it's like really early in the day, I highly doubt anyone's there, let me go actually peruse the place and possibly get something. I wasn't like planning on buying anything. I was just like, let me actually look at the store now that there are not like 50 people in there. And guys, I spent like an hour in there, and I did end up buying some stuff. Not books, because I'm sticking to my book buying ban, I swear, but I did end up buying some DVDs, and I thought I should show it to you guys, and then we can get back to reading, I promise. I only ended up getting 5, but that's like not bad for the amount I spent. I spent like less than $30. So I got the Enchanted DVD, you know, that movie with Amy Adams. I saw it and I had to get it. It was only $5. And then I got Brown Sugar, one of my favorite romantic comedies. If you have not seen this, it's kind of a staple in the Black community, but like anyone and everyone should watch this. It's really good. Taye Diggs is such an underrated comedian, in my opinion. Like, he's so funny in this. Everyone should watch it. And then Cheetah Girls 2, because what are we talking about? What are we doing? The best Cheetah Girls movie. And then the last two, I'm so excited I got these, because with the latest news of the Atla movie not getting a theatrical release this year, it kind of put a damper on my mood. So I was specifically looking for anything Atla related. So I got Legend of Korra book 1 and 2. I'm so excited. I couldn't find book 3 or 4, but I can live with it. I can live with it, okay? And these don't look like they've been opened. Like, they still have like the wrap on them and stuff. So good day to be me. Good day to be me. Also, I found my earbuds. So they were in my brother's car. Don't know why they were in there, but I found them right in time for my new ones that I just used today. Yeah, it's been a long day, but it's still pretty early. It's only 2 o'clock. So we're gonna read now. I just want to show you guys the DVDs that I got. I think I told you guys this. I'm like slowly trying to collect the physical media that I enjoy before streaming just takes it over and takes it away, because I think that's where we're heading. Yeah, so I'm slowly accumulating a whole collection, and I'm gonna need more shelf space because I have room for, I think, 5 or 6 more DVDs on my shelf, but I'm gonna need to get more shelf space before I get any more. But I thought these were so and then there was one DVD that I really wanted, but it was like $25, and I was like, absolutely not, absolutely not. Because again, I wasn't looking to spend anything today, but what I did spend money on, I don't regret it. Like I said, I got all of this for less than 30 bucks. If I were to spend $25 on just one DVD, I would have been very upset. So I'm glad that I got this. That's it. I'm gonna put these away, and then we're going to go back to reading. I didn't get in much reading last night, if I'm being honest. I got to part 3 of This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. So I'm officially like 45-ish% into that book, almost on the halfway point. And as for Watch Your Back, or Your Next, whatever the third book in the Devil's Backbone shit is called, I want to say on chapter like 18 of that. So I know I said I'm not having the most fun with the third book, and it's still true. I'm not having as much fun as I was with the first 2, but I will say my favorite love interest of the whole harem got the love confession first. So I'm hoping he's going to be endgame. I don't really know how Why Choose works. I don't know if she's really going to stay with all of them until the very end, or if she's going to have to choose at some point near the end. But if she's going to choose someone to be endgame with, I really hope it's this guy. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to give spoilers, because this is the last book of the series, so I'm going to keep a hush hush. But yeah, my favorite got the love confession first. So I'm really hoping that the author does not piss me off. Yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna lay in my bed. I'm gonna open up my Kindle, get it ready. I'm kind of upset. I should have left my Kindle at home to charge, because I took it with me, because I always take my Kindle with me, but it wasn't needed. So I don't know what percentage it's at, but I'm gonna read for as long as I can, and then I'm going to take a break and edit at some point, because I really do need to get back to editing, and then we'll see how the day goes from there. You guys know that I love me a found family, right? So I haven't really talked much about the found family in This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, because I'm still trying to get to know the characters that I've met so far. But since I'm like halfway into the book, I just feel like I can finally say that like this has the possibility to be one of my favorite found families in a fantasy. And it's a really cool group of characters that I'm slowly getting to know, that I'm becoming very fond of, I must say. Just got done reading a chapter where the little kid, his name is Caden, the main character ends up saving Caden and the maid from a terrible situation, and so now she has taken them in as like being of service and help to her to take down the villain in this book. And again, they're just like kids. I think the maid is 17 and Caden is like 12, I think. And Caden, I want to give him a hug so bad. He has been slowly taking things from the different characters, and the main character, Maggie, just saw him take like one of her pens, and she followed him to his room and saw that he has like a whole chest of things from people. And it's because of like what he's been through and how he got to be like a kid living alone on the streets, that he just feels like he needs to have like little memorabilia of people that he cares about because he feels like he's gonna lose them, and it's just really fucking, it's really cute. And again, Maggie has just been dumped into this world. She doesn't really know everyone like through and through. She knows the main characters of the books, but she doesn't know this random little kid that she found. So she's getting to know him day by day. She doesn't know everything about him. And so with everything that she learns about him, she cares and grows more fond of him every single day. And it's kind of like she's taking on like this motherly, or more like I'd say like a big sister type role. It's just really cute. And then there was a chapter last night that I read that almost sent me into tears, and I don't know why. It wasn't even like a big part of the story, but every now and again Maggie will remember her family from like the real world and wondering like how the real world is faring without her, because she does have people that she cares about. She has her parents, she has her brother, and she has a very mundane life. Like, she worked 2 jobs, she was living pretty comfortably in her small apartment, and she has nothing bad to say about her life. But one thing she did say was like she was lonely, and there was like 2 paragraphs max. It didn't even take up a whole chapter. 2 paragraphs of her talking about how she ran into an old high school classmate that she was friends with while like doing her side hustle job of door dashing stuff to that classmate's house. And when that classmate saw her, all she felt was pity for Maggie and was like sending her job referrals. And Maggie was like, well, I don't really need a job, but I wish that she would have like reached out to just like go grab coffee. Like, I would have loved a friend. And so it's the fact that like you could tell that all of these like characters, with Maggie included, are just very lonely people that are coming together in this magical fantasy world to become a little family. And it's so freaking adorable. Like, I don't know why Maggie is here. She still has not figured out why she has landed herself in this situation, but I kind of hope that she stays. Like, I know that she has a family to get back to and like real world responsibilities. I get it, but this is low-key her family now. That's her family. That's her family, and I love all of them. I'm obsessed with every single one of them. And I just wanted to say that because I was on the verge of tears when I read Caden's chapters. I was like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. Yeah, I'm currently on chapter, I want to say 24. I might be wrong. No, 22. I'm on planter 24, which is like weird. I don't really understand the whole planter thing. Every single chapter starts off with a planter blank, like a planter number. And I'm like, I'm assuming that means day 24, like the amount of days that she's been there. But then why don't they just say that? I'm sure it was explained to me at the beginning of the book, but it's been a while since the beginning of the book. Like I said, I've been dragging this book out for weeks, which is why I'm trying to finish it soon. But yeah, I'm assuming it's day 24 of her being here. She hasn't even been here a full month, and she's low-key been wreaking havoc. Love her. She's low-key becoming one of my favorite characters in a fantasy book because she's just so smart. Like, the fact that she kind of has everything from this book series memorized to a T, to the point where she can exploit almost every character and knows all of their dirty secrets, and knowing when to use it to her advantage. And she's not evil, but the way that she stores information to use, she is kind of an evil mastermind, and I love that for her. But yeah, chapter 22, day 24. It's only 4 o'clock. I have been reading for like a good chunk of time, like an hour and a half. I'm going to take a little bit of a break to go make some lunch, and then I'm gonna have to start a new book, which I think it's about time. I've been reading the same 2 books for the past 4 days, and I'm sure you guys would like a change of pace maybe. I don't know. I'll explain the book later, but yeah, I'm gonna take a break from this Kingdom Will Not Kill Me, and I'll let you guys know what I'm reading later. Hi, it is a few hours later. I ate, I watched some TV. I've not read anything, okay? But as I was saying earlier, I'm going to start a book in this vlog. A new book that I have not mentioned at all previously, and it is one that I decided to read yesterday because me and a few of my coworkers are in a little unserious book club. I would say I'm not like technically a part of it. I only involve myself when it's a book that I'm interested in reading. I don't actually participate monthly. And when I heard what book they were reading, for April. This was, mind you, there's like a week left of April. They just now decided that whatever. It's not a serious book club if you couldn't tell by my face. It was my boss's turn to pick what the book was, and she decided that we will be reading a book from the one and only author Chuck Tingle. And if you don't know who Chuck Tingle is, I'm kind of jealous of you. Like, what's it like to be pure? I'm familiar with Chuck Tingle, not because I have read his stuff, but because I have seen his book covers and his titles. And so when I heard that they were reading a Chuck Tingle book, I was like, I'm in. I don't even care what it is. So I will be starting the 40-page book, The Banana in My Butt is a Handsome Lifeguard, by the one and only Hugo Award finalist, Chuck Tingle. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know who Chuck Tingle is, but if you don't, he's like an author that writes serious books and then writes unserious books. Like, I know like a few of his books are like really good. Some people say like he's like a really good writer. I have not read anything, whether it be his serious stuff or his unserious stuff. I just know of him because of his books that look like this. I have seen those covers circulating for years, and this is an ongoing series of like characters, usually male characters, that have stuff going up their butts. I don't know why this was chosen. I don't really care to know. It's not my job to ask why. I'm just gonna read it. Say less. I'm gonna read it. This is what I'm pausing this current reading vlog for, this very serious reading vlog, because this is serious to me. I need to read this, and again, it's only 40 pages. It shouldn't take me all night or anything, so why not get through it? Tomorrow we can get back to reading the fun stuff, but who knows, this could be fun. I don't really need to look up a synopsis, okay? I think we all know what we're getting ourselves into going forward. I think I know what I'm getting myself into. You know what you're getting yourself into if you're continuing to watch this video after this point. I really want to see. Like I said, I haven't been reading for the past few hours. You've missed nothing else. This is what my night's gonna consist of, and I will let you guys know how the reading experience is gonna go. My Kindle has been charging in a corner. I've let it sit for a minute, because once I pick it back up to read this, I'm not putting it back down until I'm done. So with that being said, let's get started. Yay. Guys, I am only 5% into this book, and first of all, I just want to say I've caught at least 5 typos already, so that's fun. But also, the banana and the man have officially met. The lifeguard and the man have officially met. I love how the first thing the guy does when he sees that the lifeguard that saved him was a banana is just talk about how hot the banana is. Let me read it. I can't make this up even if I tried. As my blurry vision becomes clearer, the face of my savior comes into view, and I'm immediately struck by just how handsome he is. Apparently, the rescue tower wasn't as vacant as I first suspected, because next to me sits a huge sentient banana lifeguard in tight red shorts, his gorgeous muscular body still wet and glistening from the salt water. I feel like I should be getting paid to read this. I feel like this should not be accessible. I just wanted to let you guys know, like, they have met and things are about to get weirder. You know, I'm sorry, it hasn't even been a full minute later, but I have to talk about this. It's crazy that he's attracted to the banana, and it's also crazy that no one's even questioning why their lifeguard is a banana. Like, this guy just got rescued and saved, and there was like a crowd forming around them, and the crowd was not all that concerned about the fact that their lifeguard is a full-on walking, talking, ab muscle pecked up banana. Also, the names in this book. Why is the main character's name Tronbo? The banana's name is Greet. Like the way that you greet someone, his name is Greet. Greet is a perfect specimen of masculinity, as though crafted by some kind of magic. Oh, I can't wait to talk to my coworkers about this tomorrow. We technically don't have to read this until next Tuesday for the book club chat, but I'm literally gonna have this done in like less than an hour, so I will be prepared to give them all of my critiques tomorrow. But I'm so far not even a full 10% into this left. I'm having the time of my life. Yes, I don't think I'll be able to finish this book. I'm dying laughing. I can't do this. I'm not gonna give you guys any more spoilers, but the banana just revealed something about his dark past. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with his peel, his banana peel. I would love to meet Chuck Tingle. I'm actually so jealous because my manager, the person who recommended us read this, actually got to meet Chuck Tingle at BookCon, and that's what made her want to give us this book recommendation. So I wonder, I'm gonna question her tomorrow, like, what's it like to live my dream? I would love to ask Chuck how he comes up with this. This is so stupid, but it might honestly be a 5-star read. Who knows? This is gonna be my last update, I swear. Because if I update you guys, like, I kid you not, it hasn't even been a minute since the last update, because this book is so short and every single word, every single line, every single sentence is so ridiculous. But it's a key. Chuck Tingle is a key. Oh my god. Oh wow, hello sunshine. Okay, hi guys, it's the next day. You probably can't tell because I'm literally wearing the exact same outfit, but in my brain, the way that outfits work is if I wear an outfit on my day off, I can definitely wear it to work the next day because my coworkers haven't seen it. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so it is the next day despite my outfit. Hello, hi, it's Friday. Happy last day of the vlog. I usually don't update you guys before work because I'm usually not in the mood to talk this early in the morning. The sun is literally still coming up, if you can not tell. Like, I'm about to head out like very soon. However, I needed to tell you guys the fucking plot twist that happened in This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. I wanted to read like a little bit before I went to bed last night, and that ended up dragging out until like 12:30, 1 a.m. because I needed to understand this plot twist. And I'm not going to give you the plot twist, obviously, if you have not read it. This book is still fairly new, so I'm going to give you all your time, okay? But you guys need to pick this book up because the plot twist has to do with a character that you kind of meet at the beginning of the book and then they leave for a bit. And I was waiting. I was like, this character is going to have a big part to play in the book. I just didn't know when they would come back or how they would come back into the story because it's been like at least 200 pages. Like I said, I'm like halfway into the book at this point. It's been at least 200 pages since I last saw that character. So they've been kind of hanging over the plot to me. They are barely mentioned, but their presence left an impact on me. Okay. So when they came back in like the chapter last night, I was gagged. And now I'm not gonna lie, guys, this book got a whole lot more interesting from like a romance standpoint. And the thing is, I know that's not even gonna be like the biggest plot twist of the book because again, I'm only halfway in, but that was fucking insane. I had to reread the chapter because I was like, am I missing something? What just happened? What the hell just happened? And don't get me wrong, I've been doing that a lot throughout this book because I think I've told you guys this. It's really heavy on the world building, but like in a way that it's more tell and not show. And so I honestly forget a lot of the world building until it comes into play in the action of the book. With this chapter, it wasn't even that I was confused about like how things come together. I was just confused as to what I was reading on the page. I was like, there's no way they're doing this right now. There's no way. Oh my God. And I just woke up thinking about it. That's how you know the book left an impact on me. If I'm waking up thinking about this book, I'm gonna probably be reading this for the rest of the day. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm probably, if I can try hard enough at my job, because again, I do have to clock in. If I could try hard enough, I can definitely get further in this book today. Best believe I'm gonna be locking in. I'm so excited. I literally woke up excited to finish this damn book. I wanted to wake up a little earlier just so I could read, but I ended up sleeping in a little bit because I did end up going to bed at 1 a.m. I have no regrets though. Absolutely not. So yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on that before I leave because I know I would have gotten further into the book while I was at work, and by the time I updated you after I got off of work, I probably would have forgotten to mention that big plot twist. So just in case, hi, hello, here's an early morning update. The sun is killing me. Like, are you guys seeing this? Also, I feel like this book could really benefit from a map, and I know that there is a map because I saw it at the beginning of the book. When it comes to, again, the world building, I'm just so lost as to where each kingdom is and which family is a part of each kingdom. Like, I'm not even just a map is what's needed here. I'm gonna need like a family tree. I'm gonna need like some sort of diagram to show like who is connected to who, because Maggie explaining the lore dump on like every other page just for it to play out 50 pages later isn't gonna cut it. I'm like struggling. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever she brings up a character that she sees walking by and I was like, who is that? And she's like, oh yeah, this is the guy I mentioned on page like 100. I'm like, girl, I'm on page 250. Yeah, I think that's like my only gripe for Maggie, because she knows everything and she's like a diehard fan. Every time she sees like a character or she sees like a landmark that's famous in the book, she's like word vomiting all of the details, and I just can't keep up with that. So yeah, if I had to give one critique, that would be it. But it's like very minor in the grand scheme of things, because I'm really having a great time when it comes to this book. I cannot lie to you. But yeah, with that being said, I do have to leave. I have to go to work. I don't want to clock in, but I must. So I'll talk to you guys later, and it'll probably be one of my last updates for this vlog. So see you later. Hi guys, it is a lot later. I got back from work a few hours ago, and I've just been reading and napping. I'm not gonna lie, I just woke up from a nap, so I'm a little out of it right now. Instantly got home and started back up reading You're Next by Tay James. I feel like I haven't read that the past few days, but that's one that I also would like to finish soon, because I have like a little less than 3 hours left in it, so that's what I've been consuming since I got home, between that and like sleeping. I still have the same feelings I had told you guys throughout this video. I feel like, I mean, I guess you could say this about all the books, but I feel like with this last book specifically, which is very odd, we're not even trying to focus on what the plot is. The whole mystery of the book, let's slow that down. Let's focus on the romance of it all. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind it. That's what these books are. They're just dark romances. But my God, like, I'm not trying to give too much away, so I can't really say any like specific scenarios that have happened so far in this book without spoiling like big chunks of it. But it's just so bizarre to me that like there is someone out there targeting this group of people, like these main characters, and they're not more worried about it for some reason. Like, yes, they are a little bit scared out of their minds. Yes, they are watching over their backs constantly to make sure like nothing is happening to them, but they're also just very chill about the whole thing. And it makes me so confused. Like, I don't really, like, the stakes are high, but yeah, it doesn't feel like the characters are getting the same memo as the reader. Strange, it truly is. I'm on chapter 29. Like I said, so like I have 35% of this book left. I'm gonna try to get through the rest before the end of the night, but you guys won't be saying that because I am closing out this vlog here. I just want to let you guys know that I did not forget about this. I am still reading it, but it's just, I don't know. The other books aren't really that good comparatively. Like, they're not like 5-star ratings, and this is like so much worse than that. They're kind of at the same bar, but I feel like in the third one we're really losing the plot, and so it's losing me more and more. I don't know, I think it's also just because this is like the third book in this series, and so they're kind of wrapping up the love story and stuff in a way that's like satisfying, but it's not satisfying to me, so maybe that's also why I'm a little thrown off by it. Like, I'm genuinely curious as to how this is going to end, because you guys know I've never read a Why Choose before. I don't think I like it. I don't think I like it as like an ending of a book. I'd rather her just choose one of the guys, specifically the one that I'm rooting for. You guys know I'm rooting for someone specific, and I still think that's her man. Like, I still think that that should be the only person in this group that she's with. So the fact that like there's been no real rush to choose someone, like actually pick one of the guys here, makes me feel like she is going to just end up with all of them in the end, which is again completely fine, because that's what the book is. Like, that's like low-key the whole premise of the book. It's a Why Choose. But this being my first one kind of throw me off of it just a little bit. Like, I'm trying to figure out what the vibe is, and I don't think I'm matching the vibe, so that's more of a me problem. But we'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind in like the last chunk of the book. But like I said, I am ending out here. If you guys enjoyed this, thank you so much. Let me know what you read on your Kindle. What does your Kindle TBR look like? Because I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't even touch like half of it. I did not mean to focus on just like 2 books this week. That's just what ended up happening. There are so many more books on my Kindle that I need to read. So if you guys enjoyed this and would like to see more Kindle centered vlogs, I will happily do it, because not even just my physical TBR, I do need to tackle like most of the books I have saved on my Kindle. So if you like to follow me on social media, it'll all be linked down in the description below. And I think that's it. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye everyone.